Hey everyone, and welcome to Wellness Unpacked.
It's great to be here.
Today, we're going to ditch the fancy gym equipment
Okay.
and dive into something we all do every single day.
All right.
Walking.
Love it.
You ready to have your mind blown?
I'm ready.
Okay. We're about to uncover some seriously surprising benefits of walking.
Oh,
You won't believe you never knew.
I'm intrigued.
But before we hit the trail,
Mm-hmm.
a quick reminder to check out Nagano Tonic.
Yes.
It isn't just another health drink.
Right.
It's a delicious, powerful elixir
Powerful.
designed to make weight loss fun and effortless.
Yes.
You can buy it by visiting https://rebrand.leabodytonic
Really?
or clicking the link in the description of this podcast.
Sounds good.
Now, are you ready to step into a healthier you?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's kick things off by tackling that nagging feeling that walking just isn't a real workout. I mean, we've all been bombarded with those intense, sweat-inducing workout routines,
Right.
promising amazing results, right?
Yeah, it's easy to fall into that trap.
Right.
Thinking we need to be pushing ourselves to the limit to see any real changes. But what's fascinating is that science is actually showing us that walking can be just as effective as running when it comes to things like heart health and boosting your mood.
Right.
And the best part,
What's that?
much gentler on your body.
Oh, so it's like the tortoise and the hare fable, but for fitness.
Exactly.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady. Yeah.
I get.
And it's interesting because even fitness experts like Jessica Vallant, who we'll be talking about today, initially dismissed walking as being too easy.
Right.
But she completely changed her tune after experiencing the benefits firsthand,
Oh,
especially during and after her pregnancy.
that's interesting. So let's talk about this magical 10,000 steps a day goal.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really the holy grail of walking, or is that just another fitness myth?
Well, both Jessica in her YouTube video and an article from Very Well Health challenge this 10,000 step idea. Apparently, research suggests that around 7,000 steps a day might actually be a sweet spot for most people.
Oh, okay.
But I think the real takeaway here
Yeah.
is consistency.
Okay.
Even those short walks you squeeze in throughout the day are more beneficial than those sporadic, super intense workouts
Yeah.
that you end up ditching after a week.
So you're saying even if I just do like a quick lap around the block a few times a day, it's still making a difference?
Absolutely.
Okay. Phew. That makes me feel so much better.
Especially if you're new to exercise or
Mhm.
have any health concerns,
Mhm.
starting small with 5-10 minutes a day can make a
Okay.
world of difference.
Okay. That's a relief. Now I'm ready to have my mind blown.
All right.
What are the surprising benefits we're talking about? I know walking can help with things like weight management and sleep, but tell me something I don't know.
Well, get this. Walking can actually make you smarter.
What? Yeah.
No way.
Studies have shown.
That, particularly brisk walking, can boost your brain power
Okay.
by increasing blood flow to the brain,
Right.
which stimulates the growth of new brain cells.
Wait, so you're telling me that taking a walk can help me remember where I left my keys?
Exactly.
Sign me up.
It's like a workout for your brain, improving cognitive function and memory.
Oh, wow.
It can even lower your risk of developing Alzheimer's disease.
That's incredible. I had no idea.
Okay.
What else?
Mm.
What other hidden superpowers does walking have?
This one might surprise you,
Okay.
but walking is fantastic for your joints.
My joints.
Now, you might think that all that pounding would wear your joints down,
Right.
but it's actually the opposite.
Really?
Walking actually helps nourish and strengthen your joints.
Hold on. How does that work? I thought exercise was supposed to be tough on your joints.
It all comes down to something called synovial fluid,
Synovial fluid.
which is basically the WD-40 of your joints.
Okay.
Keeps them lubricated and moving smoothly.
Okay.
When you walk, you're essentially giving your cartilage a nice little massage, which helps circulate that synovial fluid,
Okay.
bringing in all the nutrients your joints need to stay healthy.
So it's like a spa day for your joints.
Precisely.
I never thought of it that way.
And here's another one that might blow your mind.
Right?
Walking can boost your immune system.
Really?
Research has shown that even a single 30-minute walk can temporarily increase the number of immune cells circulating in your blood.
Whoa, hold up. So by going for a walk, I'm basically giving my body an extra line of defense against like those pesky colds and flus.
You got it.
Wow.
Regular exercise like walking has been linked to a lower risk of viral infections,
Okay.
making it a simple yet powerful way to keep your immune system strong.
This is amazing. And here's another benefit I can personally vouch for. Walking is a fantastic mood booster.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, a quick walk always helps me, clear my head and feel more grounded.
You're right. And the research backs that up.
Yeah.
Both articles we're looking at today highlight how walking can significantly reduce stress and improve sleep quality, thanks to those feel-good endorphins it releases.
It's like a natural therapy session without the copay.
Exactly.
But, one thing that often gets overlooked is the social aspect of walking.
Right.
Walking with friends or family
Yeah.
is a fantastic way to connect, share stories,
Yeah.
and just enjoy each other's company while getting in some exercise.
Absolutely. It's a win-win situation.
Right.
Jessica actually calls it a walk and talk.
Oh, I like that.
And she emphasizes how it can strengthen relationships and foster a sense of community. It's about nurturing both your physical and emotional well-being.
I like it. Speaking of nurturing and feeling good, before we move on,
Okay.
let's talk about Nagano Tonic.
Yes.
It's a fantastic way to give your wellness journey a little boost.
Absolutely.
Remember, this isn't just any old drink. It's a delicious and powerful elixir designed to make weight loss fun and effortless.
Love it.
You can buy it by visiting https://rebrand.ly Body Tonic or clicking the link in the description of this podcast.
Awesome.
Now, let's dive back into how to make walking a regular part of your routine. I think we all know those people who start a new workout routine with a ton of enthusiasm, only to burn out after a week.
Yeah.
How do we avoid that with walking?
Well, it all starts with finding your rhythm.
Okay.
It's not about forcing yourself into a rigid schedule,
Right.
but rather experimenting with different intensities
Okay.
and finding what feels best for your body.
Okay.
Some days, a leisurely stroll might be all you need, while other days you might feel like pushing yourself with a brisk walk or even adding some hills.
Oh, I love that. It's all about listening to your body and finding what feels good.
Exactly.
So let's say we found our rhythm. Where's the best place to walk? Indoors, outdoors, treadmill. What's the deal?
You know, there's something magical about walking outdoors.
I know, right?
The fresh air, the sunshine. It's like a sensory symphony for your well-being.
Yeah.
Plus, you get that added bonus of soaking up some vitamin D from the sun.
Right. I totally agree. Yeah. I love exploring local parks or walking trails. It's amazing how a change of scenery can just shift your perspective.
It really can.
But let's be real. Sometimes the weather just doesn't cooperate.
Sure.
Or maybe we don't have access to safe outdoor walking spaces.
Right.
So what then?
That's right. And that's where indoor walking comes in. A treadmill or an indoor track at a local gym can be a great alternative.
Okay.
The important thing is to find a way to make walking accessible and enjoyable for you, regardless of your circumstances.
That's so important. Walking shouldn't feel like a chore. It should be something you look forward to.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of walking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It requires minimal equipment.
True.
And can be done almost anywhere.
Exactly.
So true.
Whether you're walking in a park, on a treadmill, or even around your living room, you're still reaping those incredible benefits we've been talking about.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of reaping benefits, let's circle back to those specific ways walking can enhance our lives.
All right.
We've covered brain power, joints, and immunity.
Right.
But what about its impact on our mental and emotional well-being?
Walking is like a natural therapy session for your mind and emotions.
Okay.
We touched on it earlier with those endorphins. It releases those feel-good chemicals that elevate your mood and wash away stress.
Right. So it's like hitting the reset button on your mind and body.
Exactly.
And that Very Well Health article pointed out that regular exercise, like walking, can actually reduce the number of days we experience poor mental health, including stress, depression, and emotional concerns.
That's right.
Wow.
And I think it speaks volumes about the importance of making walking a consistent part of our routines, not just for our physical health, but for our mental and emotional well-being too.
Right.
It's about taking care of the whole self.
Absolutely.
It really is amazing how something so simple can have such a profound impact on our lives. And, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need any fancy equipment or expensive gym memberships. Just lace up your shoes and go.
So true. But speaking of shoes, any tips on what kind of shoes are best for walking? I feel like that's something a lot of people might be wondering.
That's a great question. You definitely want to make sure you have comfortable shoes with good support, especially if you're planning on walking for longer periods. Look for shoes that are specifically designed for walking or running, as they tend to have better cushioning and arch support. And don't forget to replace them when they start to wear out.
Makes sense. No one wants blisters or sore feet. Okay, so we've got our comfy shoes, we're feeling motivated, but maybe some people are still feeling a little intimidated by the idea of making walking a regular habit. Any advice for those who are just starting out?
Absolutely. One thing I always recommend is setting realistic goals. Don't try to go from 0 to 10,000 steps overnight.
Right.
Start small and gradually increase your distance and intensity as you feel stronger. Remember, even a 10-minute walk is better than no walk at all. And don't be afraid to break up your walks throughout the day. Even a few short walks can add up to significant benefits.
That's great advice. It's all about finding what works for you and your lifestyle. And I think it's also important to remember that walking doesn't have to be a solitary activity. It can be a really fun social experience.
You're absolutely right. Walking with friends or family is a great way to connect, catch up, and support each other's fitness goals. Plus, it's a lot more fun to chat and laugh while you're walking than to be huffing and puffing alone on a treadmill.
Exactly. It's a built-in accountability and entertainment.
And speaking of entertainment, I love listening to podcasts or audiobooks while I walk. It's a great way to make the time fly by and learn something new at the same time.
That's a fantastic idea. It's all about finding ways to make walking enjoyable and engaging so that it doesn't feel like a chore. And sometimes it's the little things that can make a big difference, like choosing a scenic route, listening to your favorite music, or even just paying attention to the sounds of nature around you.
I love that. It's about making walking a mindful experience rather than just a physical activity. It's a chance to disconnect from the digital world and reconnect with ourselves and our surroundings.
Exactly. And sometimes I even find myself coming up with my best ideas while I'm walking. It's like my brain just starts flowing more freely when I'm moving my body.
I totally get that. There's something about that rhythmic movement that seems to stimulate creativity. It's like those moments of aha come more easily when you're on the move. And speaking of aha moments, let's revisit that fascinating connection between walking and brain health. I think this is an area where a lot of people might be surprised by the science.
Absolutely. We often think of exercise as being primarily beneficial for our bodies, but it's becoming increasingly clear that it plays a crucial role in keeping our minds sharp as well. Walking, in particular, has been shown to have a number of positive effects on cognitive function, including memory, attention, and even creativity.
So you're telling me that by going for a walk, I'm not just improving my physical health, but I'm also giving my brain a boost. That's incredible.
It really is. Research has shown that walking increases blood flow to the brain, which delivers oxygen and nutrients to brain cells and helps stimulate the growth of new neurons. This improved blood flow can also enhance communication between different areas of the brain, which is essential for optimal cognitive function.
Wow, so it's like giving your brain a superhighway of nutrients and information.
Exactly. And studies have shown that regular walking can improve memory recall, boost attention span, and even enhance problem-solving abilities. It's like a workout for your brain, helping you stay sharp and focused.
I'm starting to think we should prescribe walks instead of medication for some of these cognitive issues. But on a serious note, this is truly groundbreaking stuff. It makes me wonder about the long-term implications for conditions like Alzheimer's disease, which we touched on earlier.
That's a great point. While more research is needed, there's growing evidence that regular physical activity, including walking, can play a significant role in preventing or delaying the onset of Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia.
That's incredible. It's like we have this simple, accessible tool at our disposal that could potentially protect our brains as we age. And yet, so many people underestimate the power of walking.
I know, it's often overlooked as being too easy or not intense enough, but the science is clear. Walking is a powerhouse when it comes to both physical and mental well-being.
I couldn't agree more. And it's not just about preventing disease. It's about enhancing our quality of life right now, feeling more energized, more focused, and more connected to the world around us.
So true. And speaking of feeling good, let's circle back to that delicious elixir we mentioned earlier, Nagano Tonic. This powerful blend is a fantastic way to support your overall wellness journey, whether you're a seasoned walker or just starting out.
Absolutely. Remember, Nagano Tonic isn't just another health drink. It's a delicious, powerful elixir designed to make weight loss fun and effortless. You can buy it by visiting https://rebrand.ly/Leah Body Tonic or clicking the link in the description of this podcast.
It's the perfect way to fuel your walks and give your body the nutrients it needs to thrive.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about some practical tips for making walking a sustainable part of your routine. I think we all know that starting a new habit can be challenging, so what are some strategies for making walking stick?
Well, one of the most important things is to make it enjoyable. If you dread going for a walk, you're less likely to stick with it. So find ways to make it fun and engaging. Explore different routes, listen to your favorite music or podcasts, or even try a walking meditation.
I love that. It's about making walking an experience rather than just another item on your to-do list. And,
Mm,
sometimes it helps to have a specific goal in mind, like training for a charity walk or setting a personal step goal.
That's a great idea. Having a goal can provide motivation and a sense of accomplishment. And don't forget to reward yourself for your progress, whether it's with a new pair of walking shoes, a delicious healthy meal, or even just a moment of quiet reflection to appreciate how far you've come.
I love those suggestions. And speaking of rewards, let's talk about something that can make those walks even more enjoyable. The right gear.
Oh, I love gear talk. Having the right gear can make a world of difference when it comes to comfort and enjoyment.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy or expensive. Just a few key items can enhance your walking experience and keep you safe and comfortable on the trail.
Exactly. And sometimes it's the little things that can make the biggest difference, like a good pair of walking shoes, comfortable socks, and breathable clothing.
So true. And don't forget about a water bottle to stay hydrated, sunscreen to protect your skin, and a hat or sunglasses to shield your eyes from the sun.
Those are all great suggestions. And sometimes it's helpful to have a small backpack to carry those essentials, especially if you're planning on walking for longer periods.
Absolutely. And, speaking of backpacks, let's talk about something that can make those walks even more enjoyable. Music.
Oh, I love listening to music while I walk. It's such a great way to boost my energy and mood. And sometimes I like to switch things up and listen to podcasts or audiobooks, especially if I'm walking for a longer distance.
Me too. It's like having your own personal soundtrack for your walking adventure. And, sometimes I like to listen to nature sounds or calming instrumental music, especially if I'm feeling stressed or anxious.
That's a great idea. It's all about creating the right atmosphere for your walk and tuning in to what your body and mind need in that moment. And sometimes the best music for walking is the sound of your own breath and the rhythm of your footsteps.
That's so true. It's about finding those moments of stillness and connecting with the present moment. And, sometimes I find that walking in silence allows me to really appreciate the sounds of nature around me, the birds singing, the wind rustling through the leaves. It's a sensory experience that can be incredibly grounding and rejuvenating.
I couldn't agree more. It's about opening ourselves up to the beauty and wonder that surrounds us, even in the most ordinary places. And sometimes those simple moments of connection with nature can be the most profound and transformative.
Beautifully said. And speaking of transformations, let's revisit that powerful connection between walking and weight loss. We touched on it briefly earlier, but I think it's worth exploring in more detail.
Absolutely. Walking is a fantastic way to burn calories and lose weight, especially when combined with a healthy diet.
That's right. And it's not just about the calories burned during the walk itself. Walking can actually boost our metabolism, helping us burn more calories throughout the day.
Exactly. When we engage in regular physical activity like walking, we build muscle mass, which in turn increases our metabolic rate. And walking can also help regulate our appetite, preventing those cravings and overeating that can sabotage our weight loss efforts.
That makes sense. It's like we're creating a positive feedback loop where walking helps us eat better, which in turn helps us lose weight and feel more energized to keep walking.
Exactly. And walking doesn't have to be strenuous to be effective for weight loss. Even moderate intensity walking can make a significant difference, especially when done consistently.
I love that. It's about finding a pace and intensity that feels good for you
Yeah.
and that you can sustain over time. And, sometimes it's the small changes that make the biggest difference, like parking farther away from our destination or taking the stairs instead of the elevator.
Those are great suggestions. It's all about finding ways to incorporate more movement into our daily lives, even in small ways. And, sometimes those small changes can add up to significant weight loss and improved health over time.
I couldn't agree more. It's about making those healthy choices a habit rather than a chore. And, speaking of healthy choices, let's talk about something that can help support our weight loss journey. Nagano tonic.
Oh, yes. Nagano tonic is a fantastic addition to any weight loss plan. It's delicious, nutritious, and packed with ingredients that can help boost our metabolism and curb those pesky cravings.
Remember, Nagano tonic isn't just another health drink. It's a delicious, powerful elixir designed to make weight loss fun and effortless. You can buy it by visiting https://rebrand.ly body tonic, or clicking the link in the description of this podcast.
It's the perfect way to nourish our bodies and support our weight loss goals.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about some practical tips for staying motivated and consistent with our walking routine. We all know that starting a new habit can be challenging, so what are some strategies for making walking stick?
Well, one of the most important things is to find what works for you and your lifestyle. If you're not a morning person, don't force yourself to walk before work. Find a time that fits your schedule and that you can stick with consistently.
That's great advice. It's about creating a routine that feels natural and enjoyable. And sometimes it helps to have a specific goal in mind, like training for a charity walk or setting a personal step goal.
That's a great idea. Having a goal can provide motivation and a sense of accomplishment. And don't forget to reward yourself for your progress, whether it's with a new pair of walking shoes, a delicious healthy meal, or even just a moment of quiet reflection to appreciate how far you've come.
I love those suggestions. And sometimes it helps to track our progress, whether it's with a fitness tracker, a walking app, or even just a simple notebook.
Absolutely. Tracking our progress can help us stay accountable and see how far we've come. And, sometimes it's those small victories that keep us motivated and inspired to keep going.
I couldn't agree more. It's about celebrating those wins, no matter how small they may seem. And sometimes it helps to find a walking buddy or join a walking group.
That's a great idea. Walking with others can provide motivation, support, and a sense of community. And, sometimes those shared walks can turn into lasting friendships and cherished memories.
I love that. It's about making walking a social and enjoyable experience. And, speaking of enjoyable, let's talk about something that can make those walks even more delightful: scenery.
Oh, I completely agree. Choosing a scenic route for your walk can make a world of difference. Whether it's a stroll through a park, a hike in the woods, or even just a walk around your neighborhood, there's beauty to be found everywhere.
I love that. It's about opening our eyes to the wonders around us, even in the most familiar places. And sometimes I find that walking in nature helps me feel more grounded and connected to something bigger than myself.
I totally get that. There's something about being surrounded by trees, flowers, and fresh air that just makes us feel more alive and at peace. And, sometimes those moments of connection with nature can be incredibly inspiring and rejuvenating.
Beautifully said. And, it's not just about nature. It's about finding places that bring you joy and make you feel good. Maybe it's a walk through your favorite part of town, a stroll along the beach, or even just a lap around your backyard.
Exactly. It's about creating a walking experience that feels personalized and meaningful for you. And, sometimes I find that changing up my route can help keep things interesting and prevent me from getting bored.
That's a great idea. It's about keeping things fresh and exciting.
Oh.
And, sometimes it's the unexpected discoveries along the way that make a walk truly memorable.
I couldn't agree more. It's about embracing the journey and being open to new experiences. And, sometimes those serendipitous moments can lead us to new places, new connections, and even new insights about ourselves.
That's so true. It's about allowing ourselves to be surprised and delighted by the world around us. And, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of walking, I think it's worth emphasizing that it's not about perfection. It's about progress.
I completely agree. It's not about hitting a certain number of steps or walking at a certain speed. It's about finding a rhythm that works for you, listening to your body, and enjoying the process.
Right. Some days you might feel like conquering a mountain, and other days a gentle stroll around the block might be all you can manage. And that's perfectly okay.
Exactly. It's all about showing up for yourself however that looks on any given day and celebrating those small victories along the way.
So for those listening who might be thinking, okay, I'm ready to give this walking thing a try, what's one piece of advice you would give them?
Just start. Put on your shoes and take that first step. It doesn't have to be a long walk or a fast walk. Just get out there and move your body. You might be surprised by how good you feel, both physically and mentally.
I love that. Simple, yet so powerful. And I think it's also worth mentioning that walking is a gift you can give yourself every single day.
Absolutely. It's a gift that keeps on giving, improving our physical health, boosting our mood, sharpening our minds, and connecting us to the world around us.
It's like a daily dose of wellness wrapped up in a simple, accessible activity.
And it's never too late to start. Whether you're young or old, fit or out of shape, walking is something that everyone can benefit from.
So true. And remember, if you're looking for a delicious and supportive companion on your wellness journey, don't forget about Nagano Tonic.
It's the perfect way to enhance those walks and nourish your body from the inside out. You can grab yours by visiting https://rebrand.ly bodytonic or clicking the link in the description of this podcast.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the incredible world of walking. We hope you feel inspired to lace up those shoes and discover all the amazing benefits for yourself.
Remember, every step you take is a step towards a healthier, happier you.
Until next time, keep those steps moving and those wellness vibes flowing.
I couldn't agree more. It's about embracing the journey and being open to new experiences. And sometimes those serendipitous moments can lead us to new places, new connections, and even new insights about ourselves.
That's so true. It's about allowing ourselves to be surprised and delighted by the world around us. And, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of walking, I think it's worth emphasizing that it's not about perfection.
Right.
It's about progress.
I completely agree. It's not about hitting a certain number of steps or walking at a certain speed.
Yeah.
It's about finding a rhythm that works for you, listening to your body and enjoying the process.
Right. Some days you might feel like conquering a mountain, and other days, a gentle stroll around the block might be all you can manage.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's perfectly okay.
It is. It's all about showing up for yourself, however that looks on any given day, and celebrating those small victories along the way.
So for those listening who might be thinking, okay, I'm ready to give this walking thing a try, what's one piece of advice you would give them?
Just start. Put on your shoes and take that first step. It doesn't have to be a long walk or a fast walk.
Yeah.
Just get out there and move your body. You might be surprised by how good you feel, both physically and mentally.
I love that.
Yeah.
Simple, yet so powerful.
Yeah.
And I think it's also worth mentioning that walking is a gift you can give yourself every single day.
Absolutely. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Improving our physical health, boosting our mood, sharpening our minds, and connecting us to the world around us.
It's like a daily dose of wellness wrapped up in a simple, accessible activity.
I love that. Yeah. And, it's never too late to start, whether you're young or old,
Right.
fit or out of shape.
Yeah.
Walking is something that everyone can benefit from.
So true. And remember, if you're looking for a delicious and supportive companion on your wellness journey, don't forget about Nagano Tonic.
It's the perfect way to enhance those walks and nourish your body from the inside out. You can grab yours by visiting https://rebrand.lilybodytonic or clicking the link in the description of this podcast.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive
Yes.
into the incredible world of walking.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you feel inspired to lace up those shoes and discover all the amazing benefits for yourself.
Remember, every step you take is a step towards a healthier, happier you.
Until next time, keep those steps moving and those wellness vibes flowing.